Navarre, Florida, which is near Pensacola. I finally, YouTube's alive and well. All right. Now, I'll let you know if you're watching this on YouTube, I don't have a lot of battery power, and I was underneath of a pagoda where I was plugged in, but a couple people sat down and started making public phone calls, and it was pretty wild, the stories I was hearing. And I thought, you know what, the photo bombs and the stuff, we need to have this. So I prayed for God to bring people to our channel that, hi Phil, that are suffering. And I gotta tell you that it has been awesome. You think of all the bad things that happen. Bad things happen, and out of every bad thing that's happened, such better things have come from it. So I'm actually going to be staying down here until the 11th of July. Brian's going back on Saturday, and my best friend Rhonda's coming in from California. I'm going to pick her up. Just yeah, it was raining. I got a notification, Phil, that 3 to 5 inches of rain was supposed to happen there in Maryland, in Bel Air. So this morning I opened up the hotel room. We're staying at the Best Western Marina, and I'm giving you a view of it should be the Trump Best Western, Trump Plaza Best Western, because I'll tell you, you paid the same exact amount. Anyway, so this morning it was raining like crazy, but the sun was out. And you see, I don't know if you see, there's pontoon boats all over. People rent them, and we rented one for half the day, and we went snorkeling, and it is great. My legs aren't working so well, but it just, this is the sound here. On the other side is the Gulf of Mexico. It's really rough, really rough. As I was there in the Gulf, but anyway, it's how do we make the most of, it's easier to deal, I guess it's a drama queen, it's easier to deal with difficulties than it is, ups and downs, believe it or not, than it is the mundane, the when you're home and you're like, well, I don't feel like doing the laundry, I don't feel like cleaning out the dishwasher, all that stuff that has to be done regularly. I think when you have that multiple sclerosis or anything else, is just not fun anymore. You don't want to do it. Hi, Karen. Hi, Jane. Uh, but it's just not fun anymore. It is, and it has to be. Uh, we got to make the most out of everything. So I enjoy. Uh, I enjoy bad things happening because it gives God the opportunity to appear. Like Brian lost his phone yesterday, and it had his credit card and his driver's license. There is no way that he was gonna go back on Saturday to Florida. There's no way without his driver's license. And I started pointing that out. And then I realized he's in a tizzy walking around. I tried calling, it's not in the hotel room. And I sat there at breakfast. By the way, they have biscuits and gravy. I'll move down here and get fat. That's what I've decided. I'm going to get fat because I'm going to eat at the Best Western every morning. Fantastic. Biscuits and gravy. But anyway, I sat there with my coffee and I just prayed that it came back. And sure enough, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Josiane! Oh, it's great to see you. So I was sitting in the gazebo where I was listening to 3 different loud conversations, and and Brian's looking for his phone all over, and I said, look at the chairs, these Adirondack chairs that are under the palm tree where we sat yesterday. Hi, Sarah. And sure enough, right on the handle, one of them was his phone. It was covered with, and it rained, torrential rain on top of it, but it was vinyl. So his phone was protected, his license, his credit card, everything was in there. So what an opportunity to, you know, drama. But anyway, we still don't have a car. Um, and every other day we've been doing something. So, but being at home, I woke up and I hadn't been on any medication to fight the side effects since Thursday, since I came down on Thursday. Uh, but I wasn't feeling good this morning. God is good. I gave Jesus a chance, God likes it when we suffer because it gives him a chance to shine. He just, oh my gosh. So a woman walked up to me yesterday, an older woman with her husband, and started telling me about all of her problems, that she has to go in for monthly infusion that costs $15,000 a month, and that she's going to a blood doctor now, a neurologist. And let me tell you something. You hear those people, they're supposed to teach us something. They teach us something. And what are they going to teach us? They're going to teach us that complaining about our health is just does nothing more than drive people away. I just looked at her, was listening to her describing how awful, just she broke a rib she broke her wrist last year. And she's the older woman, and I was thinking of all of you that fell in, all of you, and all I had to say is you preach into the choir. You know what? Looking for the opportunities to encourage. Uh, but anyway, I wish I could bottle this sun and give it to you. All right. For some reason, YouTube or Facebook just went off. So, all right. Hang on. All right. Everything's acting up. Okay. So, Facebook disconnected, it reconnected again. And let me look at my status. Yeah, I've got, it looks like I've got a third of the battery life. But God's good. God's going to keep us going with this. He wants. So how is everybody? What MS topic is on your mind today? What are you thinking about? All right, that's dead air. I've got some dead air. Come on. All right, I need to interview somebody. So let's talk about some of the problems I was having. I dove off one of the pontoon boats, and instead of jumping in, there comes, hi Gina, there comes a point where you shouldn't dive anymore. It's a belly flop. I needed to jump in, but I dove, did a belly flop, and I cut the bottom of one of my toes, the pad, so I've got it wrapped in a tissue because it hurts so bad to walk on. So I got to jump in. Also, the deep, I don't know. Have you guys noticed the world has lowered every toilet, every public toilet? They're no longer reasonable heights. It's like a deep knee squat. All right. Sarah says, don't worry, the wind makes it not dead at all. All right, you guys are saying hi. to each other. So anyway, everywhere you go, the toilets are lower. So it's my strong leg is the right leg, and it now the left leg starts slipping away when I go to stand up. It's crazy, crazy, But what somebody walked by me, yeah. I got to tell you something. Those of you who are on YouTube or Facebook, and you saw I posted that I swam from there all the way. Here's the secret, because you guys know that I'll tell you the truth. You can walk out to almost where that pontoon that's driving by. You can walk out. It is shallow. You can stand. I can't stand you. Many of you can't, because the current, the wind pushes you. So it is great physical therapy to walk out and try to stand in there. I am going to do that today. Thank you for the idea, May. But this is all really shallow. If you want to go swimming, and it's Navarre Beach, you go across the bridge, and there's a beach in the Sound. And yeah, I just don't think that swimming in the Gulf and the ocean after you get to be a certain disability is nice to your partner who's holding on to your wrist while you're flying like a kite in the water. And that's what happened 2 days ago, and I had to laugh. So he was dragging me, and then we got washed up like beach whales, and he did too. And we were like from here to eternity, only looking a little fat, a little crippled. We weren't as sexy. But the fun thing about him is we just laughed. We laughed, dignity. Who cares? But going out, and I think that's a great idea. Going out. Now, we are in Navarre, Navarre, Florida. It's between Destin, Fort Walton Beach, and Pensacola, and it's right here. Now, Brian's going to be flying back on Saturday, and I'm going to be, unbeknownst to my father, staying with him. I've got somebody here I'm going to be bringing with me, and Rhonda, somebody here who cleans, housekeeping. I'm going to give her a couple $100 to come in. The three of us are going to go in with Clorox and gloves, and we are going to, he doesn't know this yet, on Saturday we're going to clean him out and stay there for 1 week. So every negative is an opportunity to make flowers, to make a positive happen, right? Although I don't know how I can make a positive happen with the toilets being lowered all over the United States. What is with that? My toilet's not on the floor, so all these toilets are on the floor, and there's no grips to pull yourself up. All right, and Sarah is saying that she loves that Brian laughs with me. Her amazing husband can make me laugh. So really, you know what, Sarah, and I got to tell you, we need to laugh when we're under such pressure. It's just such pressure. And I got to tell you, this is, 20 years ago. Hi, Jane. Hi, Edward. You guys all need to join me. I hope you're cool, Jane. Okay, Sarah, so I'm telling you the story. So we're in Loma Linda, California. I walked down, we were newly married. I lost my balance and fell on the glass coffee table. But I was wearing underwear and a bra, and I fell there. My husband walked around the corner and saw me sitting on the table, and he looks at me and he says, "Get your ass off the table. What are you doing? Show some class." And I laughed so hard. And his family is hard on me, and I like it. Somebody drinks too much beer and they stagger and they say, "I'm walking like Dulci." Yeah, you are. It's beautiful. But that was way back then. Now it's a new game. It's a new part of having this disease is resilience. It's adapting. It's like, oh, I didn't know I was going to sit so low on these toilets. It just, I don't know. 98 degrees is still hot. It's good for misters, but I tell people in Washington State, Jane, uh, in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, it's 98 degrees today, and many of you, I know where you're from, and all. Jane has been in the middle of that heat wave. I know in Maryland, it's raining cats and dogs, and this morning it was raining. Robert, dude, I'm not a dude. I'm a dudette. 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 But anyway, it's amazing. It's amazing. It is amazing. So life is an opportunity. I mean, just difficult. There was a young couple down here with a little girl, a little girl in a wagon, and she couldn't breathe. She was diagnosed with a congenital problem that they were so worried. Obviously, but you're worried with the winds, and she's in. If I was sick, I'd want to be in a wagon, pulled around, just not feeling well, sound asleep, just pulled in shade and stuff. It is. Hey, Dennis, I saw that. Jane says hi, Dennis, Sarah, Gina, Jean, Eduardo, Robert, and May. Hi, everyone. And Mason, Phil, and I know Chris. I know you're with us. I don't see, but you see they're renting jet skis. Here's the terrible thing, though: the jet skis are like $100 an hour. I don't know. I don't know. I've lost my love of wanting to drive a jet ski. But you know what they have over there, over near those high rises there? They have sailboats. And I want to rent one. I want to ride the keel. I don't know. But yeah, ever tell me something. Hi, Judy. Judy, sweet Judy Blue Eyes. All right. You ever get yourself in a situation, and I know you have, where you believe that you're capable of doing something that you no longer can do, and that's what happened when I said to my husband, "Carry me out into the Gulf. I'll swim out beyond the breakers. Doesn't matter if I get in a red tide. It'll be fine." All of a sudden, because of the pond lesions I have, and I'm dizzy all the time. I'm swimming, but I don't know where I'm swimming to, and I'm being just jostled around, and it just I'm putting my body in a position where where I can't cancel check. Sailing in the sound. I'm thinking I'm a sound person. It is called the Santa Rosa Sound between the Gulf and the mainland, because I can swim on that beach and I can walk out and you can walk out. It wasn't, Judy, it wasn't as impressive as it looked. If an able person could have walked where I swam, you could stand up and probably be at hip width where I was. You can walk all the way out, way beyond, all the way out there. It's very shallow for a long time. It's got seaweed and stuff you step in. Uh, but you know what? Again, we don't have a car, so I have no idea how we'd get over there to get the sailboat, and that's where it is. But yeah, that would be my druthers. Yeah, not the ocean, the sound. I'll tell you what, the the Atlantic. I'm used to Atlantic. this here, the golf was so extreme. It was like 4 hours of, oh, no. We were in there in the water for 1 hour. Just it was, and the don't we have pressure? You know what? I'll explain the Uber and the taxi. We can Uber over $8 Uber over that bridge, which you see behind, to drop off. Uh, One day when we went swimming in the sound. Well, we came back out. It's time to go. I got no internet connection, so I can't call an Uber or a Lyft, right? I can't. So I use Brian's phone called Best Western. So anybody that can pick us up. They don't. Well, actually they did, but they said, "Oh, let's locate somebody who can come and get you." Well, during that time, his phone battery died and there was no way to recharge it. So he pushed me over the bridge there. But that is a great idea. And so what we can do is line up an Uber to bring us over there, and before we go over there, line up the Uber to bring us back at maybe 4 hours later. That's what we're gonna try. I'm gonna try it today. Uh, but anyway, but you don't know what. In fact, I never knew what a sound was until I lived in Tacoma, Washington. The sound, the Puget Sound, is huge, and this here, going down there, we drove for about an hour on the pontoon boat we rented. An hour, but we had it for 4.5 hours, and we went all the way up, and we went through some open water that it felt like we were going through a bay of some. If you look right across, all the way across, it does get deep because barges go through there. But from here to there, this is all sound. All right, sound is not the and the bay, believe it or not, is over that way. I don't know. You know what? It rained like crazy. It rained with the sun out. Uh, you know what? I'll tell you what. You know what? When I told Brian I need a change, and I think we're gonna retire sooner than not down here. I need to change. From Maryland, it's just depressing. You know what? I've got a couple of best friends. I love my neighborhood, but yeah, the giant. Really, you're gonna have to tell me the Puget Sound. When I lived in Washington State, my golden retriever would like to swim in the Puget Sound. I'd play ball. I was always so afraid he was going to be taken by orcas. But this here, get myself a little boat. Of course, I have one, and I don't know. I know I miss my dogs. I miss trivia night, and I miss my dear friends. But I came down and met a lot of great people that God sent me that were worse shape than we are. Mentally, we're here. Those of you, the Jane and Gina and Robert and Sarah, you guys know we get together and we giggle and it's like it's a reality. There are people walking around that are in pain. There was one guy that got stationed down here. He's got no place to live. And he and his family, he was telling me, oh my gosh, we're looking at maybe buying property. It's ridiculously expensive down here. And he's talking about how stressed out he is. And it's like, I'm thinking that's a hell of a way to be, right? Hell of a way to be. But the home of the giant octopus. Jane says that the Puget Sound is the home of the giant octopus. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all? I'm hanging out with rednecks too long if I'm talking like that. Everybody talks with the southern twang from Mississippi. Met a lot of people. Texas. Good. Thank you, Gina. Texas, I swear they're wonderful people. And hi, Gwendolyn. Oh, thanks for answering. Uh, I'll tell you, I met some people from the Carolinas and people from the deep south down here, Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, even southern Florida. When they come up here, they are so nice. It is. If you don't have a friend, you live down here, it's your own fault. Gwendolyn! That is such a... I love your name. All right. Thank you, Jane. But, I'd say I'll have a guest bedroom. I've come down here, and you guys are welcome to come down and visit. Stay, I'm going to have a handicap available. And, yeah, we've got, remember, attitude. That's all right. My girlfriend's coming in from California, and it is humid. But I'll tell you what, it's probably 79 degrees. The wind is blowing. It feels really cool. I end up getting colder. I've got a sweater right here. I've got a sweater because I get cold. But it's one of those things. The average temperature is it's no different than Maryland, except Maryland doesn't have the wind. It doesn't. Hi, Liz. Liz, where are you again, Liz? It is. I remember being in New Jersey, walking through the Pine Barrens back when I walked, when it was hot and humid, and I'll tell you, there is nothing hotter and more humid than when we walked through the woods and in the cedar creeks, and you got to jump in to cool off, and you don't wear white because you'll have a bathing suit crack where your butt is. Everybody else, forget it. You gotta wear black. So, so I got my bathing suit here for walking, and I figured, let's see. All right. Oh, good, because I'm down, I think, 10% battery life on YouTube. So if it cuts out, on next Tuesday, I'll let you know. Next Tuesday, I'll be at my dad's house, and I will be broadcasting. Everything will be plugged in, so that won't happen. By poolside, by his house. It'll be good. Everything always works out. Now, Jane Bucket saying, Karen, you're like me. I hate it. I was never like this until... You know what? It's called thermoregulatory disorder. The longer we have MS, our bodies don't know how to warm itself up or cool itself down. And you know what? I'll sit out here and I'll have the wind blowing on me and I'll be fine. And I don't know that I'm really hot, but I've got my lifeguard. Brian will come over and he'll make sure I've got water in the Yeti and ice. He made sure this was all set up for you guys today. And it's true. If we can't cool ourselves down, and the fact is that we sit there and it feels cool, and our body is warming up because of the environment. We don't know because it's a thermoregulatory problem. But then again, at night, in fact, my left foot is swollen. It's been swollen nonstop, bent down here. Because every time you sit down, you gotta put your feet up. You gotta put your feet up. Our Jane is saying that she's from Southwest Louisiana, and Fort Walton Beach is where the family vacation for a year. Beautiful white sand, Florida Panhandle beaches are great. Yes, and you know what? That is that's where I am, Navarre. So all right, let's see. All right, so I'm looking at YouTube because no, Michael. All right, I'm in California on the coast, 2 miles south of San Francisco. All right, okay. All right, Michael, I am in Navarre, Florida, between Fort Walton Beach and Pensacola. That my father lives in Navarre, Florida. He's got a house there. We're staying in the Best Western because my father and my husband don't get along as well. Dad thinks that he is the father of my husband and myself, and he's gonna call the shot. Brian's a 61-year-old man. He doesn't react well. He's got a wife and stuff, so he's just taking care of me. But anyway, so yeah. This is. I'll tell you what. This is the sound. I've been to Ocean City, Maryland, 2 or 3 times, and but I'm a Jersey Shore type of girl. That is really great. But there's nothing like this. Feels like Hawaii. I've been to Hawaii a couple times too. It feels like you are going at a slower pace. Nothing really matters. People are friendly, and everybody wants to help you. If you're disabled and you're walking with a walker, everybody wants to get the door for you. You know what? Gina's mentioned that her spasticity is worse when it's cold, and yeah, that is. My dad has almost an Olympic-sized swimming pool that I'll be swimming in next week. But yeah, again, it just home's where you hang your hat. Every difficulty is an opportunity to rise above it. I like the positivity. How important is it? I like it. I like that people aren't in your face for not wearing a face mask. No, but of course nobody's wearing a face mask down here. Just it's. Oh, it's 10:35. Okay, let's see. Sun in orange hair. That's funny. Sun in. Yeah, remember sun in? As a kid, you just sprayed it. Turn your hair orange instead of beautiful beach blonde that they had the model. It was like orange grass, like straw orange. Sun in. Terrible, terrible stuff. Alright. But you know what? That is temperate. When you talked about that, Sue, you said, no, Chris, you were talking about being south of San Francisco, and it's more temperate there in Southern California. You rarely get the extremes. I know I lived in Loma Linda, and I was born in Dulci. Of course, I was born in Stockton, near in the San Joaquin Valley. Am I slurring yet? That means I'm getting hot. If I am slurring, and I don't know it, but that's all right. I've got lifeguards around here that are probably watching. I hope, or we can watch. You know what? Let me tell you something. I have been SPF. All right, SPF 50. I've been spraying that on. I haven't gotten a suntan. Remember, I had the melanoma cut out of me because of gelania. The side effect of gelania is you got to go to the neurologist or the skin doctor, a dermatologist, once or twice a year so they can find this. Of course, I found. I said that's a mole that looks purple. It doesn't look right. And he biopsies this. Sure enough, it was melanoma. And you have to laugh when people say it's malignant melanoma. That is, what is it called? A redundancy. No, Dale, I'm on the sound. I'm on the Santa Rosa Sound. Brian and I are. Because Brian and my dad, Dad's trying to be father to a 61-year-old man who's used to controlling his own world. Yeah, so the minute my dad tells Brian, look, I'm going to make you some mushroom soup, and Brian wants just to borrow his car and get a cheesesteak hoagie or get a slice of pizza. It is. So we 2 days ago we went to the Navarre Golf, and we I kind of floated around with the current and got pulled back and walked back and stuff. So Brian's flying back on Saturday, and I probably shouldn't. I'm going to surprise Dad. Really? Gina, it's 97 degrees in your backyard? Ugh. Is it humid heat? You know what we would do, Jane, what we would do, Sarah? Remember, we take the baby oil, Johnson's baby oil, and you put some iodine, some of the brown iodine in there, and you smear that on, because that stains your skin. It gave you a little bit of a tan. Wow. You know what I've discovered, Jane? What I've discovered, everybody who is in a situation where they don't have AC, if you can take a towel and get it wet, get the towel soaking wet, and cover your head from that, and you just get the cool water, and you do that often. Every time it gets warm, you do that. It works. Mike, I graduated in 1986. I graduated. What year did you graduate, Sean? Yeah. So yeah, it is. I don't think it's a dumb thing, Jane, putting the iodine in baby oil, and so, but we knew 83. 83. Okay, all right. Okay. So you were a year. I was in Shawnee in 82. 83. I think I was a sophomore. Yeah. No, I'm just thinking. I think, are you, so you were in the class of 82 to 83, all right? I was a freshman when you graduated. You were, yes, I was a freshman. That's right. I looked at all of you guys as being grown-ups. Johnny was different when we were there, right? And you were there. It was different, you know. Oh no, it's funny. Oh, 30, and Gina, you're describing your 34% humidity at 98 degrees, so that wet towel around your shoulders will work wonderfully. Will work wonderfully. You know what? Will work. All right. Yeah, it does sound windy. I want to tell you. I remember. I remember Greece, of course. It was like the best. Yeah. Who was the guy that I remember? The guy who was the lead of Greece. He was so good, and it's funny because he was kind of a dorky guy, but he's really popular because he was such an extrovert. What was his name? Anyway, I loved, you know, there. Some things. Do you know that 1986 our class was the only class that didn't win senior week? Yeah. Gordon Galtier and Tufati, they all told us they were ashamed of our class. It's like, oh my God. Oh, we kept being told we were losers. We tried, but our best wasn't good enough. All right, we're 40. Okay, Jane, you're at 41% humidity. That's still good as far as evaporative cooling. A little bit of, get yourself a bottle, a spray bottle of water, and spray it in the wind. Spray it when it hits you. No, he wasn't John Travolta. No, I do remember the midsummer freshman year. Yeah. No. There was a guy who played it. Wasn't John Travolta who played the lead on our Shawnee High School stage play. It was somebody else. I remember him. I remember he was so good. All right, Ganaj. It makes me feel like passing out for MSS. All right, so let me read out loud. Okay, what is your name? My name is Naj. Naj is saying that he's in Austin, Texas. It gets really hot, and the heat makes him feel like passing out. 4 MS. He served in the U.S. The Marine Corps in Iraq. It's true. And Dennis, let's see. What can help? Depending in Houston, Austin, I've met some wonderful people here, and if you got to stay in the air conditioning when you're down in Texas, Austin, and rely on that evaporative heat. Evaporative air conditioning, that is the water. You put it over your shoulders, get yourself a towel and put it over your shoulders. It is the difference, because again, it was 85 and we had to walk. Brian had to push me with the walker across the bridge, and he was more concerned with me. 85 with it windy, it shouldn't have been a problem, but it could have been. No. Oh my gosh! You play the lead? Oh my gosh! I am so honored. Okay, what John said is that we had Michael after. I'm sorry. What Michael is saying is that we had the best, like it was Broadway musical good, Grease production at our high school. I was a freshman, and I remember the guy who played the John Travolta role. He was wonderful. wonderful, just willing to be a shapeshifter, anything to take on that role. Just he was so good. And I got to tell you, he's watching right now. And I feel like I need your autograph. Oh my gosh. You know, I looked up to you guys, and thank you, because we needed we we needed people to inspire us, because according to Gordon Galtier and Tavati, our class was the biggest losers. We had more people die. Anyway, a maple leaf. All right, thank you for the time check. All right, so also what you can do, Naj, is contact the MS Association, msaa.org, and request a cooling vest. And I'll caution anybody who has a cooling vest, when they have the little pockets you put in the refrigerator and the freezer, when you go outside, you have to have a time, you have to have it on your phone, time, because you don't want to be out there when it's not cool, because it has the opposite effect. When the water bottles in there, when they become body temperature, it feels all right, but all of a sudden they start sucking in heat, and it's a panic situation. So get the cooling vest, set the alarm, and say, I've got 45 minutes out in this heat. Unless, of course, you have a towel with a bucket of water, which you guys have seen me do on the porch, screen and porch. The bucket of water, ice in there. Then I have one of the towels that you can. Yeah, it's true. You know what, Michael? That's sweet, but you know the difference is that you were a star. I'm just one of the crowd. Everybody. I know. It seems like I'm serving people around the world with MS, but I discovered MS is easy. It's a name for pain. It gives us the opportunity to overcome situations, and it allows us to minister to people who have bigger problems. I mean, there's a lot of healthy people in the world. I've been praying every day. A miracle's been happening. So I'm not, Michael. You being here, you're a blessing. I am not worth an autograph. You know what? If you're gonna thank anyone, thank Christ for bringing you here. Not me. All I'm doing is, you know, the phone or this laptop is staying on, even shows I am broadcasting around the world. A 64, and you know what? And when I take that T-Bird out, I go cruise on the T-Bird. The only time that it's comfortable is between 70 and 80, or 65 and 80. Anything more than that, at 80, it better be overcast, because it's hot. It just, it's like a sardine. I am. I'll tell you what, Mike. Oh my gosh, I can't help but to be starstruck. Liz is saying that she grew up near on Lake Michigan before heat started bothering her. And I grew up Birchwood Lakes, a lake across the street. We'd swim. Michael knows, it's amazing all the things we had going for us, and how we just didn't think we had anything to do. Anyway, yeah, Jane is saying that neck coolers are great. There's cooling cloths that are very thin that I like to put in a bucket of cold, icy water and carry it around gardening. You put it on your head, around your neck, and down your chest, and you can do that. So not see about getting. That's my favorite. Yeah, they give you, Sarah, it's great. Sarah's talking about wrist coolers that they give you. And I have the wrist coolers, but I'm just not, you know, again, if you have to take off the wrist coolers before it becomes a heat sink. And all of a sudden you're out in the hot weather and now you're heating around your neck and around, it's like it's a heat sink. You don't want that. I did that. All right. So Jane is saying she has misters hooked up outside. That good for you. I'll tell you what. Misters in the dry heat are adult sprinklers sexier than anything. I mean, sexy. Sexy was when you're 18, involves sex. When you're over the age of 50, sexy is just feeling content. Right? Hi, Aunt Andrea. All right. Oh, you know what? You know what? That is, I will, but doing a live MS Live, I can't. Yeah, I'll check it as soon as I'm done here. Get a drink, put on my bathing suit, walk out, and I'm gonna practice standing in the circle and turning different directions so it's balanced. I'll improve on my balance because I end up walking, but I don't know what I'm going to do about the toilet being on the floor. I don't know why they think it's a good idea. I just don't know why. Maybe a lot of little children stay here. I don't know. But I can't wait, Michael. I'm going to look at that picture. Oh, my God. You know what? I love it. Just say you lost your balance and fell. You know what I do? I lose my balance and I fall in all the time. We had the pontoon boat and we were a couple hours down the sound and I got out to swim between two islands, back and forth, to get my laps in. And at one point, I held on to the pontoon. In fact, there's the pontoon. Held on, and then it moved, and I couldn't. It was a moving object, and I'm looking, and everything felt dizzy. Went into the water. That's all right. The water is at 80. It's probably 83 degrees. It is. I can tell you, Tom Tufati, he was my disciplinarian, but he had a nephew that I ran into, Todd Tufati. He is a captain, he was, of Continental Airline, but he made the jump over to Southwest, I believe. But nicest guy in the world. Nicest guy. Oh, and Karen says, you know how blessed we are? I don't have any battery left, and it's time. We're coming to the end. All right. All right. Now I'm just saying. Kroger, certain Walgreens, and Walmart. I've met others with MS, always near the freezer. Well, yeah, Miss Fred was cute, wasn't she? Miss Fred, she called us all goobers. In fact, I think she invented the word goober, Miss Fred. Did he really? I didn't know that. I thought he was married. I don't know, Miss Fred. Yeah, it explains everything. Miss Fred, I think Miss Fred was out of his league. She was fun. She was nice. She taught discussion and debate. Yeah, she was hot. She was hot. Yes, I understand. Remember Mr. Mateer? He ended up teaching science and becoming a doctor. We all as girls had a crush on him. Mr. Mateer. And Pappy's his club. He had a religious club. All right, where's Chris again? Chris, she was here last week. She was here on Tuesday. So it's true, Miss Fred. Yeah, out of his league. All right. It says my battery is going, so I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, he was. Pappy was awesome. So I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna tell you that I hope you gain some sort of strength and happiness to deal with life through this, through your challenges. Dear, I'm going to pray us out. Dear Heavenly Father, please bless everyone and comfort everyone who's with us. Thank you for living through us, and may we keep our eyes on you and help the suffering. Because even though we feel like we're suffering, there's always someone who feels like they're suffering worse. Suffering is a choice, and we are not going to suffer, right? Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. We're not going to suffer. We are not going to suffer. God bless you. Please go to msfrontiers.org and look at the resources we have for you. And if you're on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. If you're on Facebook, follow me. And that's about it. I love you all. Always happy Canada Day. Is it Canada Day? It's Canada Day. All right, happy Canada Day. Independence Day is coming up really fast too. So let's all be safe. Talk to